OK, Claire, moving on now to the front page of today's Times. Prevent, the government's counter-terrorism scheme, long been criticised, and there's a fallout between Braverman and Gove because they can't name certain organisations for fear of being called Islamophobic.
And I think there is your real problem. This is a report that has been a long time in the making. William Shawcross, who is the author of the review, has put it together, and now there is a row going on between the Home Secretary and Michael Gove, the Head of Communities, whose remit the Prevent scheme falls under. And he wants that report to be out there in full. He thinks that we need to get that published as soon as possible. There is this problem with the Home Office wanting to redact certain parts of the information in case it's...
Why would they do that? Because, they're trying to prevent offending organisations which have been proven to be a part of the problem.
But the Prevent programme as a whole has been problematic, and I think we can all see that. It was one of those schemes that was set up, and it was very laudable in its aims to begin with. It was set up under Tony Blair. But unfortunately, if you don't have buy-in from the communities that are the major part of this programme, you're going to struggle to get this through. And I think this is what it came up against, was people thought it was a racist piece of propaganda targeting Islamic cultures.
Which is nonsense, because it happened to be an issue within that community. Therefore, surely it needs to be targeted.
Absolutely, and I think this is always your problem. If you cannot sell it into those communities by saying, we need your help, we need your assistance, but you promote it as you must do this to stop Islamist terrorists coming into Britain, coming and radicalising our teenagers. And I think that was the problem. It was packaged so badly that those communities felt very offended by saying, we aren't the problem and we're not going to help you, the government is racist. And I think you never change that narrative. And now what we're having is an argument over some semantics and some names going out in a report, which I absolutely do think need to be published. And I think the public who pay for this scheme and people that have attended it need to understand the communities involved. They need to understand the charities and groups involved in this. So it absolutely must go out as soon as possible.
And there's an issue, of course, about public money going to some of these charities. And if public money is being used to counter the interests of the British public, Nigel, that surely there's a public interest in that.
Yeah, well, of course there is. But I do agree with Claire, by the way, that the report should go out. Sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, certainly the report should be published. There's been a lot of criticism of Prevent on the grounds it might be discriminatory. And as Claire's pointed out, some organisations won't take part in it. But broadly, the idea of it is very good. That's why the report should go out there so they can have another look at it and make sure it actually works.